Brainwashed or awakened? How our world shapes our thinking. Ever feel like the more you learn, the more you realize that you don't know that much or don't know anything? Or worse, the more you see the depth of human stupidity. Trust me, you're not alone. I used to think that I had my life figured out. A straightforward path. Going to school, theater school, then get my bachelor degree in theater education, get a stable job, get a wife, get kids, maybe a dog. But during this whole journey, I quit school, and the more I learned about marketing and sales, the more I realized that a lot of the things we see around us or experience around us are made to manipulate us. Hello, visionaries. I am Job Baltes, and today we're going to tackle a topic that's both philosophical and deeply practical. It's the topic of how our world shapes our way of thinking. Really simple. This video can resonate with you, or you think I am full of crap. Both are fine to me, by the way. Well, why do I make all my videos? It's because I am on a mission to help as many people as possible to express themselves. By capturing my journey and sharing my learnings, I want to provide as much value as possible. Today we're gonna dive into 3 critical aspects of how our way of thinking shapes our lives. Group-like thinking, influences of experiences, and thinking for yourself. Stick around, because at the end of this video you can have new perspectives on how to navigate through the information overload we all face. Group-like thinking. In the world we live in, there is always a game of power being played. You can dislike the game or the players, but you need to accept that you're a part of this game, whether you want it or not. The highest form of power is having followers. The more followers you have, the more power you can create for yourself. Can you even imagine what kind of power the Kardashians would have? Why? Well, because deep inside of us, we have the psychological need to idolize, to devote a God's throne inside us to a higher power. This can be someone you look up to or something else. This doesn't have to be religious. It could also be the moon, the sun, or nature in itself, even the universe. What matters is that it's something greater than ourselves, or like I said, someone we really look up to, someone we put on that God's throne. Well, when it's a person, I would say to you that's a bit unhealthy. So I hope it's nature or something else, because else it can be a bit chaotic or psychopathic. I would give you the advice to never put people on a pedestal, because then they can replace that godlike throne inside of you. And people don't need to be put on a pedestal, because they're just people in the end. Just like me, just like you, they're human. They go to the toilet, they take a shit, or whatsoever. But this need for that God's throne inside of us makes us vulnerable to manipulation, for instance. Leaders and influencers exploit this by promising something transformative without providing clear steps on how to achieve things. They can speak in vague terms, appealing to our emotions and making us feel a part of something bigger. Have you ever noticed how people can rally behind causes or leaders without fully understanding the implication that a leader or cause is standing for? That's group-like thinking. You connect with people who believe in the same thing, and by following the same cause, you become more vulnerable to manipulation. Think about your social circles. Who are the leaders and how do they influence the group? Be critical of what someone is really saying. Identify the leader type in your social structure, and you will recognize how the words of that leader influences the group's perspective, their beliefs, and their behavior. Influences of experience. As I stated in previous articles and videos, you have your own perspective created by the way you live and have lived your life, as does someone else. Everything you consume influenced your perspective. Everything you see, hear, read, or experience. You can never judge a book by its cover because you don't know what it contains. How often you search for other perspectives or new things defines how you see the world. The more perspectives you have gained, the wider your perspective will be. And beyond widening your own perspective, of course, the opinion of others can have an influence on yours. If the majority of people do not understand you, or if what you're doing does not make sense to a lot of people, it can trigger a negative reaction. Why? Because it's your perspective, not theirs. Ever heard of the crab mentality? When you put a lot of crabs in a bowl and one tries to climb out, the other ones will try to pull him back down instead of helping him escape. When I heard about the crab mentality for the first time, it was eye-opening. Every big name is at some point challenged or put down by the big crowd. Whether it's the media or other people, then does not that matter that much. Watch two different news shows with the same news and you will think differently about the same news based on which news show you watched first. In the end, they're media companies who want to collect viewers, followers. Think for yourself. What you consume is always influenced by the intention of others. Who you follow or the social structures you're in can have a major influence on you. Things you must consider important is things like who you hang around with. If you only hang around with nobodies, the odds will become very low that you ever will become somebody. Consider the actions of other people, because actions speak louder than words. Do they reflect a person that you don't want to be, or do the people around you lift you up? One thing I always keep in mind is that people don't want the best version of you, people want the best version of you that serves them the best. And yes, I got that lesson from Alex Ramosi. If you don't know that guy, search for him because he is amazing and a great inspiration. Since I heard that sentence, I've become more and more conscious of my own friends and the advice people gave me. Things that work well for me include waiting. If someone asks you to make a decision, wait a couple of hours, maybe a day. If people force you or pressure you, ask them why they do it and think back of which version of you people want. For instance, I know I can be really impulsive, and if I wait a bit, I know I can make more sense of my choices. Also, look at the facts. Look at the data, look at the statistics. Having data and statistics is a great way of tracking your decisions. Write stuff down and read it back. If you know what is working, you can do more of it. Make your own choices based on your own perspective with the support of the higher power above. You know the higher power is rooting for you and for your mission. We are what we repeatedly do. Excellence, then, is not an act, it's a habit. Aristotle. Live forward. To sum up all of this, be aware of the people around you. Be aware of what people say to you, what you believe and what you consume. Think for yourself. Does this make me better or not? Who am I consuming this for? If you found value in this video so far, share with someone who you think can benefit from those insights. If you haven't subscribed yet, do that as well. It will give you new things to think about, freshly delivered to you on YouTube, free every week. The only true wisdom is knowing that you know nothing. Don't forget to leave a like, so I know you found this valuable. And remember, the truth is nowhere to be found. So think for yourself. Until next time, stay empowered and keep on growing. Ciao.